Hello guys, let's talk about time.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's face it, we all have very busy daily lives. We have work, we have family, children, friends, and in the midst of all of that, we also have to find enough time to learn a new language. And I know how easy it is to use lack of time as an excuse. And I'm not gonna lie, I have used this excuse before multiple times. However, we're going to explore this sentence, I don't have enough time, a little bit further, and I'm going to give you guys a couple of tips how you can find time to learn a new language. Okay, first of all, let's address this excuse. I want to say that yes, some of us may have extremely busy daily lives, and it might be challenging for some of us to find enough time to learn a new language. However, if this is the case for you, you just have to acknowledge the fact that, you're not gonna have an hour every day to study the language, and if you really do need to learn this language, maybe you will have to find pockets of time throughout the day to learn the language. For example, instead of mindlessly scrolling on social media during your commute, you can use this time to check out a language learning app or listen to a podcast. And that's exactly what I did when I was in college. Being a college student might be challenging sometimes, and I had a lot of classes and I had to commute 2 hours every day. 1 hour there and 1 hour back, and it was extremely hard. So at that time, I had to be honest with myself and say, okay, Veronika, you don't have all the time in the world, so you should use this commute time to learn the language. And usually on the train, I would read a book in English, I would listen to a podcast, or listen to some music in English. So the moral of the story is that if you really want to do something, you will find the time. And I am a good example. Also, when I was in college, one thing that really helped me understand this excuse a little bit better, like I don't have time, understand that it is actually an excuse, is the following. First, I don't have enough time usually equals this is not my priority. And yes, guys, you're gonna come up with a lot of examples of how, oh my god, my life is so busy. But if this is your priority, if this is something you absolutely have to do, you will find the time, believe me.
I shall find time, good Cassius. I shall find time.
I don't have enough time means I'm not ready. And this is exactly something I experienced when I first moved to Mexico City, because I had to learn Spanish, right? I had to start learning the language, but at the very beginning, I had a lot of pressing issues I had to deal with first, so I was just not ready to dedicate my time to Spanish. There's a great quote I found online, and I really want to share with you guys about waiting. If you continue to wait until you're ready, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life. So one day I just got super annoyed about not understanding people, about feeling like a kid. I couldn't say anything in Spanish. I could hardly understand everything they were telling me. And I was like, okay, right now I have to find the time. Number 3 is usually it's a sign of bad time management. If you know your goals, they usually act as a filter. For example, if I know that my goal is to become advanced in Spanish, it's a great filter for me to kinda figure out my day, right? If I make it my priority to study Spanish every day, I can filter out all the time I would otherwise spend on social media, or maybe meeting up with people I didn't really want to hang out with. Therefore, if you know your goals, there are usually only 2 answers. The first one is, I have time because this is my goal. And the second answer is, I don't have time because this is not my goal. So if you don't have enough time to dedicate to English learning, it just means that it is not your goal. And the last thing that I have to mention here is that the simple way to reinvent your time is to do something for 15 minutes. Guys, believe me, you have time to do anything for 15 minutes a day. When you start with a tiny step like this, it is usually easier to get started and unlock momentum. And once you have momentum, it will start to change your mind about your priorities. So using all of these 4 things that I just mentioned, let me tell you guys what I did to learn English and then also to finally start learning Spanish, because I I believe that some of the things I'm gonna mention might be useful for you too. The first thing is open your calendar and block out the time you want to dedicate to language learning. Every day, every other day. Again, it just depends on how fast you want to see the progress. So basically, I usually use Google Calendar and it's completely free to use. If you have never tried it before, give it a try right now. Remember that it should be a realistic goal. For example, I know that some days I can study Spanish or English for an hour, but other days I only have 15 minutes. The reason why I really want you guys to do it with me right now is that it's important to be consistent when learning a language. The second thing is try to do something different each time you sit down to study the language. It is so easy to get bored, and I really don't want language learning to be boring or tedious for you. So that's why what I usually do is I have a folder on my computer or like a little bookmark on my computer where I save all the links to all the fun resources that I like to use when I learn Spanish or when I learn English. And the way it helps me is this. Usually I open up my computer and I'm like, okay, it's my time to learn Spanish right now. What do I wanna use? And I open my folder or my bookmark and I'm like, oh, okay, I have this link, I have this resource, I have this book, I have this app I can use. And I just think what I feel like doing at this very moment, because I don't want you guys to use the same resource every single day, because I think in about 4 or 7 days you will for sure get bored. The next thing I do is once I choose my resource, I sit down, I plan my studying first, and it literally takes like 30 seconds to a minute. And I even have a video on my channel with a daily language learning routine, so you can check it out by clicking this link. But basically what I do is I tell myself, okay, Veronika, now for 10 minutes you're gonna do your Anki cards. You're gonna go through all the new words. Then for the next, I don't know, 30, 20 minutes, you're going to be reading this article, right? Like reading the article, like trying to memorize all the new words, adding them to your Anki app. And then for the next 20 to 30 minutes, you're going to be coming up with example sentences, like based on the article, or maybe you're going to be trying to speak about something that is connected to the article you just read. For example, if the article was about ChatGPT, AI, maybe I should come up with a few questions that are related to AI. For example, oh, do I use AI? What do I think about ChatGPT? And try to talk to myself. I do it sometimes and it really helps improve my speaking skills. And the final thing here is join a community. This is something that I find extremely valuable, because if I study the language by myself all the time, I don't know, sometimes I get bored and demotivated because I don't have anyone to speak with. I'm always by myself, studying the language alone, and sometimes you're just like, I don't know, I'm bored, like I don't want to do this anymore. So that's why sometimes I take one-on-one classes, sometimes I join group classes, and sometimes I join different communities, different clubs. And right now I wanted to share with you guys some information about my speaking club, because you can register for the course right now. The course lasts for 4 weeks, and the main idea behind the course is to help you guys meet new people from different countries and to become more confident speaking English. We have 2 meetings every single week, and each meeting lasts for around 60 to 90 minutes. So you basically get 8 English lessons, 8 group English lessons. And what is even more important is that it is a safe space for you guys to practice English. There's no judgment. I'm always there to help you, to answer all of your questions, and to share some new interesting expressions with you in English. So again, if you want to join, make sure to click the link in the description. And I have to let you guys know that there are only 4 days left until the course starts. So make sure to join right now if this is something that you would like to participate in, because the course launches on May 22nd. So you only have a few days to register. Okay guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that right now you understand that lack of time is not really a valid excuse when it comes to language learning, or really when it comes to anything in life. Remember that the key is to start start small and then build from there. That's all for today. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You can also click on this playlist and check more videos about language learning from me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.